Hello, and welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. Now, we all know how special our scammers are these days. Cute little moogly wooglies. This scammer is very special. He was actually my very first management type scammer. Without further ado, I'm pleased to introduce you to Eric Qua Norman. Hi, I'm Eric Qua Norman, a personal assistant to Johnny Depp. I'm here on his behalf to select special fans who has been supporting him on social media by posting, liking, following, and promoting his content online. Okay, what could go wrong with this, right? Yes, I see, of course. What may I do for you then? And then about half an hour or so later, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think 10 p.m. was too late," because it was 10 p.m. in Nigeria. "But then I took a look at your picture. Nothing wrong with being past 50. Age is just a number after all." A line that they quite often like to say. "Though I didn't think you would be able to be sure at this hour." Again, I apologized. I think I meant to be asleep. I'm not quite sure. This was 2 years ago. June 2 years ago. So trying to remember everything is not always possible. About 5 hours later, my man gets back to me. "Lucky, your nice comment on his post has qualified you to be selected among the few fans to get personal appreciation from Russell Crowe himself." Wait a minute. Russell Crowe? Okay, that's odd, I said. And I reminded him of where he introduced himself to me as being Johnny Depp's personal assistant. "Why would Mr. Crowe be wanting to talk when you said you're with Mr. Depp?" "Maybe it's a 2-for-1 deal. That's exciting. Please do let me know. I know it's hot out right now. Gonna grab a water to cool down. Can't wait for your response." Now, I still do keep track of the different times in Africa, and the weather condition and whatnot, just so I have a bit of a sense. But I was really back then big into making sure that I knew what was going on in their little area and that they knew that I knew. I don't know why I thought it mattered. It clearly didn't. But that's where I was back then. Fun. "I'm Johnny's personal assistant, and it's exciting to hear back from you. How long have you been a fan?" he asks. "Okay, thank you." Then I reminded him about the being Russell Crowe. "If you are for Mr. Depp, what is this?" "Of Mr. Depp, I have been a fan of him since 1987, but you wouldn't remember that, I don't think." I said that for 2 reasons. One, because he's claiming to be in his 50s, so maybe he's senile. Yeah, because we all are senile in our 50s, right? Just trying to get his goat. Or, more likely, I wanted him to know that I knew that he was young and he wasn't even born in the 80s. If you're interested, you can simply drop your email address so that it can be added to the list of special fans who are going to receive a special appreciation mail from Johnny Depp himself. Thank you. Okay, but can you explain the Russell Crowe bit? Can't continue until you do. Okay, Russell is the one who brought out the idea of appreciating fan of Johnny. So you are specially invited as one of his fan with a nice comment on his public pages. Okay. Okay, so you're trying to suggest one famous man whom you have nothing to do with came to you to say Mr. Depp may like to reach out to his fans. I mean, I like Russell Crowe as well, don't get me wrong, but why would he try to promote Mr. Depp rather than himself and his own content? He's also promoting himself, our man, and reassures me. That's not an answer, dear. Sorry, you are getting me confused. And let me tell you, folks, this little mugu was not hard to confuse at all. Am Johnny Depp's assistant. If you are not interested in the appreciation, you can kindly quiet. Thanks you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let me ask a different way. You are Johnny Depp's personal assistant, right? In response to me confusing him. Yeah, he says. Okay, good. And you want me to talk with him, right? Kindly send your email so you can receive appreciation from Johnny directly. But you also want me to talk to Russell Crowe, who in his busy acting career also wants me to talk to Mr. Depp, right? No, Johnny, not Crowe. For how long have you been fans of Russell Crowe? I asked. Over 10 years, he says. Why asking? So I also again reminded him, lucky your nice comments, qualified you to fans of Russell Crowe. Same reason you ask these things. Getting to know you more, I said. That was a mistake, he tells me. That's supposed to be how so, please. Never mind, he says. Okay, so not Russell then. Sad. Yes, he says. Hoping for you that Mr. Depp can't come to know the mistakes. He may get very cross. Okay then, I see you went away. Have a good rest of your afternoon. And he does. He goes away a lot and for long, long periods of time, which means either he was extremely lazy or, I hate to say this, maybe he was extremely successful in stealing money from other people that he wasn't wasting his time with me. I'm here, ma'am. Wonderful, I said. Have you eaten, dear? Yeah, sure. What's your name and where are you chatting from? Oh, dear, you're the one contacting me. Can you not see my name? I'm on the west, like you. Stay safe, okay? Okay, dear, can I see a picture of you? For why? Is that required to get privileges to talk to Johnny Depp? May I see a picture of you, dear? I seem to have lost you again. Maybe your internet isn't so good in California. In his response to why, he's like, no, just to get to know you, he said. Send me your mail so Johnny could mail you personally. Aw, that's sweet and odd that you would want to get to know me, I said to him. And then I questioned him again as to why he wants to see my picture, because it literally makes no sense. He agreed that he was being sweet. And his response to my asking him why he wants to see a picture, his response was, yeah, can't you? See, the confusion is strong with this one. No, I asked you for that, love. I asked you for a picture. I'm guessing you're talking to too many people to keep up. In response to asking for a picture, he says, okay. And he sends me this random picture. Now, I did try to look up this guy. Couldn't really find much. That was before I had a really good reverse imaging system. At the time, I was just using Google, and Google doesn't really help much with imaging reverse imaging. After all, you work for both Mr. Depp and Mr. Crow. That's me, dude, he says. That's your dude? Okay, well, he looks nice. It's me, for real. For real? I ask. I'm sorry, I don't know what for real is meant to mean. Never mind, he says. Never mind what then, dear? So, what are you working on now? He didn't get back to me, so I said, Your spelling of your name is uncommon for American. Which Scandinavian place do you hail from? Because you don't honestly see that spelling for Eric very often. It is usually used in Scandinavian countries. And then I said, That's me in my prom dress. It's a shame you can't see the silver shoes that I had on. They were very sparkly. Okay, well, time for dinner. Yeah, talk later, I'm sure. Okay, basically talking to myself. I had sent a picture of a woman waving in a prom dress with a crown. And when it took forever for this man to even acknowledge any of that, I unsent it. This little thumbs up, you see, actually came about a month or two after I had unsent everything. So I cried and I said, Oh dear, I seem to have scared you away. That's why I don't share my pictures often. Only I thought someone working with Mr. Depp and Mr. Crow wouldn't judge. Now I won't get to talk to either of them. And I legit thought that was the end of the thing. That's what I thought. But he came back about a month or so later. Hi, how you doing? And in response to, it's a shame you can't see the shoes, he's like, oh, really? Let me see them. And then when I was talking about his name being Scandinavian, he's like, damn, you haven't heard of Eric? LOL, it's kind of funny to me. No, I didn't say that, I responded. I was saying that spelling is Scandinavian, and I asked which Scandinavian country you come from. Well, I couldn't. They were my prom shoes. They don't fit anymore. I had sent you a picture, but you ignored me, so I took the picture down. In fact, you ignored me for 4 days. Oh, I guess it was 4 days, not a month. Oops. I thought it was a month. I'm guessing the only reason you talked to me today is because you had no clients. Oh, I'm sorry. I just looked at the time. For you, it's after 1 a.m., so I'm guessing you are sleeping. That's right. Further up, there's a point where he actually ghosts me for a couple months. It wasn't quite then yet. And so I'm a-crying. Oh, I'm sorry. Kindly resend them to me. I don't understand you for real. What you mean by that? Damn, he said in response to it being 1 a.m. I have no idea why he responded that way, unless that was him realizing that I knew where he was from. Hope you had a good day. It's not too late now, only just about 20 minutes to 9 p.m. I'm sorry, I know you only messaged me 24 minutes ago. Curious, are you older or younger than Johnny and Russell? Johnny is just 60 years for real. No, 61, I corrected. I was asking if you are older or younger than him and Russell Crowe, who you also work for. I know he said he didn't, but I keep saying he does because he made that slip up. Yes, just turned that this month, June 9. Right, I know this, I responded. He had sent a message. The message that he had sent, and I wish I had taken a picture. It was his, I think it was some kind of a driver's license Yeah, driver's license is what it was. And he sent it to me. It was clearly a fake one, and I really should have taken a picture. But again, this was 2 years ago, back before I was, still learning a lot of the stuff, a lot of the ins and the outs. So I'm asking about you. He's senior. Me am just 54. How about you? I see. At least that's what the card says. Yeah. I was wondering because I never heard anyone over 30 say for real. That's that's such a young thing to say. LOL, I do say that often. It doesn't mean. Yeah, like I said, mostly those who are like 20 to 25 say for real. Even younger people can't be bothered and just type FR for short as shorthand. It doesn't mean what? I asked. Oh, you deleted your ID card. Not sure why. LOL. Okay then, dear. Maybe I will hear from you again in another week. I didn't. And so I deleted his, because that was June 19th. Oh, I just decided I was done with this guy, so I deleted the chat. I didn't block him, is what I should have done. I should have blocked him. But I didn't, and he came back. Right then, I see you've ghosted me again. So far, this relationship has been one-sided and toxic. Hope you do better. The message was unavailable for him to respond to because I had deleted the whole entire chat. For personal use only, I just did that for you to know my age, okay, which is explanation why he got rid of his ID card. So I said, sorry? It's not a problem, he said. I guess, but I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't ghost you. I hardly come active on Facebook. It's kind of boring to me, he says. And then he starts laughing about me not knowing what he's talking about. Okay, let's forget about it anyways. How have you been? That is the one thing that I have found that scammers in general, especially the ones that talk to you for a long time, they don't want you to remember all the things that were said. Unless it's advantageous to them. They want you to forget all of the mistakes they made. They want to remind you of all your shortcomings, but you need to forget theirs and just move on. Not abusive at all. That sounds good, I said to forgetting. In response to how have you been, I said a fair to middlin'. Just got up and showered, ready for my Friday. Pretty cool, he said. What are your plans for Friday? I mean, tomorrow. I'd say, well, work first, of course, then I will see where the day takes me. In response to tomorrow, no, today. Today is Friday. It's 5:39 a.m. here because I'm on Australia time. I'm still in bed though. Like it matters. I said 5:39 and he said 5:40. Oh, that's odd. You must have moved since I last talked to you, 'cause where had been living it's almost 3 p.m. Wow, really sounding like the scammer. I don't get you, he says. On his profile, he said he was in California. So California time, it was approximately 3 p.m., but he was saying 5:40 a.m. Only a few places in the world right now that are in the AM. None of them are in America. Mom. I'm in 2:45 a.m. here, he says. And then he says 5:40 a.m. This is yours. Well, You used to live in California. At least you did in June. Yeah, he says. No, it's 5:46 a.m. here. Why do you keep telling me what my time is? Where do you stay? He asks. California is almost 3 p.m., dear, not a.m. I am 2:47 p.m. here. And then I reminded him where he said it was 2:45 a.m. He says he knew that California was at p.m., not a.m. And I said, I think you're confused again. Typo error. I think you should know that, he tells me. Just like you were confused about whose manager you were. Yeah, but you did it more than once, I told him. Trust me, I get typos. I've made quite a few. And then he just, in response to that, he just kind of did that little emoji. I was sorry about that. Anyway, moving from that circus. Okay, cool, he says. So, what are your plans for the rest of your Thursday? Cool things about typos in the messenger is that you can fix them with editing. Oh, I just saw this. Okay, then, I'm sorry to bore you. I hope the rest of your day shapes up, when he was saying that Facebook is boring. Yes, sure, he responds to being able to fix the typos. Yeah, baby, it's kind of cool, was his response to me saying I hope his day shapes up. You sure do talk young for an old guy. Anyways, quote, chat me up later, end quote, as the children like to say these days. Out of the shower and off to work. And that was that. He did actually come back about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I started to keep his screenshots of the conversation, but then he started to do the same thing again where he wasn't talking. And it is really quite boring. So I had enough of him. I blocked him and deleted chat. So rest in peace, Eric Kwan Norman. I hope you liked this video. If it entertained you in any way and gave you any insight, then give it a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing. Come and join the family.